everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Ricky, aka Don Riquita, and I'm gonna basically start posting um, digital content for YouTube, TikTok, different social media platforms. Now these videos are gonna be messy because I'm not a professional filmer, I'm not a professional content creator, but it's gonna get better, okay? You just gotta progress and keep working on it. One of the reasons I wanted to start this was for my son and my niece. So instead of just having a physical scrapbook that they could refer to, they have digital content. Give me 1 second, y'all. Much better. All right, they have digital content that they can refer back to and see videos of me and my sister. And we're gonna be posting a lot. I'm just waiting on her to move down here from Little Rock, Arkansas. So again, these videos are going to be messy. It's unedited, but I have to get something out there. I've been reflecting a lot in my life and just some past decisions, mistakes, lessons learned, whatever you want to call it. I've learned a lot. Well, I had an old friend call me today and we were having one of those remember when conversations. So it was really good. It was fun. Her and I don't talk that often, and we may get into that later, but we do get to chop it up every few months, if you will say. She'll call and check on me, and yeah. But the topic of today, I was just telling her when we were catching up, man, I can't believe I did this, or you remember when this happened? So this whole video is about lessons. It's about growth. It's about evolving and maturing. The video I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to do anything and just dive just deep into it and just hardcore. I want to kind of build into that. So those that are following me, if you are just now tuning in, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully it's positive. If you don't like it, then thumbs down it. If you have any positive feedback, constructive criticism to give me, I'm in. I'm all for it, okay? But yeah, basically, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, the lessons, it's all about lessons and how I've evolved as an individual. So what you guys are going to find out by my YouTube journey and my digital content creating journey is you guys will get an idea of who I am as a person. For the most part, you get what you see. Depending on how you come towards me, a lot of the times is how I'll monitor how I approach you and how I treat you. It's kind of one of those things, respect is earned and not given. And that's kind of me for the most part before, and we'll get deeper into this. There's a reason why I'm saying everything that I'm saying. But for a long time there, I always gave too many people too much of my value. And so now that I've matured and I've evolved, I've learned that not everybody deserves me and deserves to be a part of my life, my journey, and whatever else good I have in store, because it is worth it and I am worth it, okay? But we will get into that. I have plenty of stories. I'm a survivor of many things, and I'm just blessed. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be able to reflect back on the things that I've survived and just different things, I've experienced, different demographics, different places I've lived, different walks of life that I've been around, and it's overall just a blessing, okay? So now we're finally gonna dive into it. Again, my old friend, I'm not gonna name her, but she gave me a call today and we were having one of those remember when conversations, so it was really cool. So back in 2018, I was a Flint, Michigan resident, and I moved from Flint, Michigan to get a better environment and moved to Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas, okay? And so I was not here long. Her and I, we met at Little Rock Montessori School, and our friendship just took off. And so I was 19 years old at the time, and I partied. Like, this was my party friend. This is my go-to girl. Like, hey, what are you doing? Every day we're talking multiple times a day. We'd be on the phone for hours, whatever. It was one of those, like, she was my best friend. Well, this particular day, And before I get into it, I have family members, friends, and associates within a motorcycle clubs, different motorcycle clubs, and some just are motorcycle enthusiasts. They just love to ride motorcycles. So even though I'm not in a motorcycle club, I am familiar at a beginner's level with certain lingo, rankings, just motorcycle life, okay? And with this story, I'm not going to name the motorcycle club and those, the name of their club, organization, whatever you want to call it, their biker gang. I've heard people call it so many different things. But I will tell you a good time, a good party time, it was just interesting, that I had in Little Rock, Arkansas, off of Mableville Road. This establishment is permanently closed. It's no longer open. But it was called Hardhead MC, okay? So for those that know what I'm talking about, you know. For those that don't, just tune in. Just listen to the story. So the old friend called me, and her husband at the time, they're no longer together, but her husband at the time was in the motorcycle club. And she said, hey, Ricky, they're having an event here. And keep in mind, we'd already been partying throughout the day. They have an event here. Would you like to come? Hell yeah. Because I was 19, I'm partying. I didn't have any kids yet, so I didn't have many responsibilities. I had responsibilities, but it wasn't serious obligations and responsibilities. So I get in her silver Chrysler 300 with her. I'm in the back. She's in the passenger seat. Her husband is driving. And we pull up to, again, it's called Hardhead MC. And when we pulled up, it was like a reddish black building. This is in the hood, y'all. Like, it kind of reminded me of like one of those, like a broke down speakeasy, just a really like a hole in the wall joint, if you will say. So we pull up, it's a red and black building, windows are busted out, and there's glass all over the ground. But I just remember getting out of the car and all eyes were on us, okay? So obviously I'm not in motorcycle club attire. I'm just like wearing regular outfit, like I'm just in regular clothes. I am biracial though. Now the friend that I was with, she's white. So I'm biracial. My dad is black, my mom is white, and I'm mixed with a ton of other things. But it always surprises people, and we'll get into many other stories later about just racial discrimination that I've experienced since I was a little girl to even now as a grown woman. And again, that's stories that I'm going to tell you guys. If you stay tuned, you'll hear plenty about my life and me being a survivor and just how far I've come and different experiences in life. And I'm blessed. I really, truly am. But we get out of this car, and it's a predominantly all black motorcycle gang, right? Motorcycle members, if you will say. All eyes are on us. I'm talking about women and men looking at us, just looking. And I'm just looking at them like, but even though I was looking at them, there is no fear. I know who I came with. And we knew the president of the motorcycle club. So if anything, because of coming from Flint, Michigan, and different walks of life and demographics I've been around, I looked at it like it was my stomping grounds. Like I've never been an individual to be fearful. Now we will get in some stories where I was scared shitless. Like there's been some things that have happened in my life where, I mean, I wanted to lose my mind, but if you stay tuned, you'll hear about it. So we pull up, get out, everybody's looking at us, and it was one of those feelings like you're a freshman in high school, like you're fresh meat, like everybody's looking at you, what are you about, yada, yada, yada. So we get in there, and it's a tight, small space. Now, for those that aren't familiar with the motorcycle club, for the male members, when they have a main lady, somebody that's their main chick, they call them, oh, that's my old lady, right? That's what they say. So the old ladies, they're like 30, 60 years old. They're in the back of the club. They're cooking fucking amazing food, excuse me. Ew. Disclaimer, I'm going to cuss. That's just who I am as an individual, and I'm trying to work on that. I got a potty mouth. But anyways, yeah, so they were cooking some good-ass food. We ate good that night. Vibes were cool. As soon as I get out of the car, that's another thing, too. They were playing Little Boosie, the rapper. It was just cool vibes. I felt like I was at home. There was, again, nothing to be scared of. I'm just there. So we go inside, and they're cooking, and the other bike members are sitting down and their ladies are sitting on their lap. People are talking, whatever. People are smoking. Drinks are being served. It's a party environment. I pull and keep in mind, at the time, disclaimer, I do not smoke marijuana anymore, and that is a different story. We'll get into why I don't smoke anymore. But at the time, I was a stoner, baby. I'm talking about, I always had something on me. And if I did not have it on me, I knew where to get it. Multiple people, I could get it in less than 10 minutes. Like, that's how much I smoked. Yeah. So I pull out my quarter bag of weed. Regardless of how comfortable I was, I pulled it out. I put it on the table, start rolling my blunt. There was a guy that tried to come up to me and try to ask me if he could have some weed, and I'm sorry, even though I was trying to keep the vibes cool, I don't sell that stuff. I'm there to smoke. I wasn't trying to get to know anybody like that. Yes, I was there to keep peace, keep the cool, but I'm just here for a good time. I'm not really trying to get to know anybody. I came with my friends and I intended on leaving with my friends. And for the most part, I've always been one of those type of individuals within the friend group. I know who I came with and I know who I'm leaving with. I'm not trying to, and there were other guys that night trying to get me to hop on the back of their bike. Let's go for a ride. I don't trust none of y'all. And regardless of me knowing the president of the bike club, and knowing her husband, you just pick and choose your battles. And that's a battle I just did not want to deal with. But I gave him a cigarillo. So a cigarillo, for those that don't know, it's a Swisher Sweet, a cigar wrapper, just something you use to put the weed in so you can smoke a blunt. And so that's what I did. I was in the corner of the room. I'm smoking. I'm right next to the kitchen. My friend's on the right of me. And leading back to what I said earlier about all eyes being on us, it kind of speaks, and this is a lesson we're going to talk about at the end, it speaks on different people, keeping your head on a swivel. There were these ladies, and most of them were cool. Again, we were fine with like everybody, but there were these 3 individuals that started out with 1, ended up with 3. This one girl comes to the left of me by the kitchen, starts moving her body, starts twerking, but she was like side-eyeing me like she expected me to act erratic or to compete with her. And bitch, I'm there for a good time. I'm here to smoke my weed. Like, that's what I was literally doing. So I was just looking at my friend, looking at her, and we were all just watching her dance. It was kind of what it reminded me of. And again, I'm not trying to label anybody because she may not have been this. It's just, I don't know what she was on. I don't know what she was feeling good that night is what I'm trying to say. But it kind of reminded me of like lot lizards, like competition. Like there are kind of like a homie hopper or something. Like there's a certain terminology they call it within the bike gang, but she wanted that attention all on her and you could see it. And then these 2 other girls flocked around her. When they saw me just like looking at my friend, that's when the 2 other girls kind of flocked around and they all started dancing on each other, right? To make a long story short. And I just continued the night doing what I came there to do. And all in all, it was a good night. Now, another lesson I learned that night, keep in mind, we had came there at like 12 in the morning and 12 or 1 in the morning. We didn't leave till like 4 or 5. So we'd been there for a few hours. Well, anyone that knows where Hardhead MC was, there's like a garage. It looks like a abandoned gas station in a way. So if you're coming out of the doors, you take an immediate left. There's like an empty garage and then a convenience store. You got to keep walking straight though once you take that left out of the door, right? So in the garage, there were men that were not a part of the motorcycle club, and they're playing dominoes, spades, drinking, and they had all white tees on, and they're just having a good time. Well, I just remember before us, I can't remember why we needed to go. It was cigarillos or cigarettes that my friend and I thought that we needed, but we had ended up thinking about going without her husband. Just make a quick stop because he was distracted talking to everybody, and we're like, we just want to go, you know? And so I just remember her husband being upset, not at me and not necessarily at her, but like he was upset because of the environment we were at. We had to be careful, right? And for those that have watched Training Day with Denzel Washington, I almost became a part of the ditch party. And I understand why he was he was honest. You know, her husband was like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm gonna go with you guys, because that area of town is just not good. It's not really good, especially at night, to be around by yourself, to be just wandering. And they know you're a new face. They know you're not from there, okay? So we're walking to the convenience store. What the guys didn't know that were in the garage, my friend and I are side by side. They didn't know her husband was walking at a distance, or from a distance, behind us. And so they start catcalling. What's up, mommy? What's up, girl? Whatever. Come over here, hollering. I mean, barking and everything. I'm not kidding. I can be dramatic sometimes, but they were barking, like catcalling, y'all. And I'm not your home slice, okay? I'm not your girl. So I'm like looking at her, looking at them, and speed walking, right? Because I know I'm trying to make it to this convenience store. I'll tell you what, though, the moment they saw him, all that shit stopped. When they saw a member from the motorcycle club, they stopped. And so that was cool, whatever. We went to the convenience store, got our shit, came back, vibed for another 30 minutes, went home. So all in all, I just wanted to tell this story because having this conversation with her opened a lot up in what I was already reflecting upon, just decisions. And if I were to go back in that time, I wouldn't necessarily do it again. I don't have any regrets, but it just shows how I've matured as an individual, as a young lady and a mother. Like, there's just certain environments people I just will not be around anymore. So that was a lesson learned. Another one is I've always been the type of individual to keep my head on a swivel. And when we were by the garage, the empty garage, abandoned garage, whatever you want to call it, that was another lesson of, okay, yeah, I may have came here with people that I'm comfortable with, but again, I could have easily been somebody's dessert, if you're catching my drift, you know? And it just, now that I'm older, I'm like, that's cringy. You know, something bad really could have happened, because, I mean, even the way they were acting, again, it was one of those moments you just had to be there to experience it. Other than that, another lesson I learned is when I told you guys about me taking out my quarter sack of marijuana and I put it on the table. And that's something that, regardless of how comfortable I felt, not everybody needs to know what I have on me, even if I pulled out just a little bit. So there's certain things that now that I'm older, I wouldn't do at all, or I would have done differently. And so even though I had a good time, nobody fought that night, we had a great time at the motorcycle club, it's lessons learned. I was 19 years old, and now I'm older, and I look back, I have kids, and I look back and I'm like, baby, listen, I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe we were hanging out and doing this, and blah, blah, blah. So although it brings a smile to my face because of like things that we've experienced and like different walks and of life we've been around and had fun, there's just certain things that just aren't cool anymore to me. So that's the truth. Tomorrow's video. All right, so tomorrow, I think we're gonna start diving a little deeper into it, just other crazier things that I've done in my lifetime as a young lady, as a teenager, whatever. I'm gonna tell you about the time that this same old friend and I went to a strip club. But yeah, this was my party friend, so I'm gonna talk about in the video tomorrow about us going to the strip club and what we saw there. That was it was kind of sad, but it was absolutely hilarious. You guys are going to want to tune in. Again, keep following me on my journey. I know I went on a tangent, but these videos are only going to get better each time. So thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, or give it a thumbs down. I appreciate all of those who watched the video all the way through, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Peace out.